Hi, I'm Colby, and during this episode of Students vs. Wilds, I'll be accompanied by Brooke. Hurricanes can be extremely dangerous and deadly. Catastrophic hurricanes can have winds of up to 200 miles per hour. Hurricanes also consist of thunderstorms and torrential rainpour. Strong winds can make huge waves that can destroy the land along the shoreline. The combination of winds and giant waves can result in severe flooding. In some cases, many people that live along the shore are forced to evacuate their homes due to the deadly conditions of a hurricane.
We will get to the extraction point while receiving minimal help from the crew to find resources and building a shelter.
Remember, don't try this at home.
During this episode, we are expecting a hurricane to be in the area. Hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones are all the same weather phenomenon. The only difference is that hurricanes form over the Northeast Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. Typhoons form over the North Pacific Ocean, and cyclones form over the Indian Ocean and South Pacific Ocean. Most hurricanes form in late summer or the early fall. This time of the year is known as hurricane season. All of these storms form near the equator and move towards the poles.
It is essential for us to build a shelter because of the hurricane that is coming. To be classified as a hurricane, the wind speed must be at least 74 miles per hour. The storm must be 5 to 6 miles high. It must be 300 to 600 miles across and travel at least 15 miles per hour. For a hurricane to occur, a tropical thunderstorm must occur at a distance of 300 miles away from the equator or less. The ocean temperature must be at least 80 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer. There must be lots of moisture in the lower part of the atmosphere. Warm air rises above cold air, making unstable weather conditions. We better start hiking before the hurricane comes. Hurricanes reach the U.S. on an average of 5 times every 3 years. Florida is the most common state to be hit by a hurricane. Hurricanes are named by letters in the alphabet, while tropical storms are named by numbers. Examples of this are Hurricane Sandy and Tropical Storm 3.
Did you feel that raindrop?
I did.
The Coriolis effect is how hurricanes form. The rotation of the earth causes strong winds to curve and start to rotate to form a hurricane. In the northern hemisphere, winds rotate counterclockwise, while in the southern hemisphere, winds rotate clockwise. I'm glad we built this shelter. See you in the morning, viewers. We have a long trek ahead of us for the hurricane.
We better start hiking before the hurricane comes. Hurricanes reach the U.S. on an average of 5 times every 3 years. Florida is the most common state to be hit by a hurricane. Hurricanes are named by letters in the alphabet, while tropical storms are named by numbers. Examples of this are Hurricane Sandy and Tropical Storm 3.
Did you feel that raindrop?
I did.
The Coriolis effect is how hurricanes form. The rotation of the earth causes strong winds to curve and start to rotate to form a hurricane. In the northern hemisphere, winds rotate counterclockwise, while in the southern hemisphere, winds rotate clockwise.
Because of the advanced technology, meteorologists can predict and warn the public. Satellites can pinpoint the location and movements of a hurricane as it moves across the earth. Warnings are broadcasted on televisions, radios, and mobile devices. Have to get out of this storm! I think the storm is easing up.
I don't think so. I think we're in the eye of the hurricane. The eye of the hurricane is the center and the calm part of a hurricane with weak winds. The eye of a hurricane is roughly a circle and is about 10 to 20 miles in diameter. The eye has minimum rain and is free of large clouds. The eye is surrounded by the eye wall. The eye wall is a tall band of dark clouds. In the eye wall, pressure changes can cause winds of up to 200 miles per hour. Overall, the eye is a place you want to be during a hurricane or any tropical storm.
I'm so glad the hurricane passed.
Yeah, me too. In 2005, a Category 3 hurricane hit the U.S. Hurricane Katrina was the largest in size and the third strongest hurricane to ever hit the U.S. It is estimated that the Hurricane Katrina left 1,800 dead. Hurricane Katrina consisted of 125-mile-per-hour winds and also created waves that were up to 28 feet above the normal tide level. This hurricane also caused $125 billion in property damage and left 80% of New Orleans underwater. About 85 tropical storms form each year, but rarely are any as severe or as devastating as Hurricane Katrina. Look, I think it's edible.
It's a slug. Let's eat it for protein. It tastes disgusting.
Colby, can you see the extraction point from up there?
Yeah, it's just across the swamp on that island. Okay, Brooke, let's start crossing the swamp. Be careful of the alligators. Oh, that was a hard trek through the swamp.
I know.
We almost got eaten by that alligator.
I know, especially in Florida, they're pretty common.
Yeah. And especially since Florida is the most common place to be hit by a hurricane in the United States. Not to mention that that is late summer, early fall right now, which is ironically in the middle of the hurricane season. We managed to survive the hurricane and make it to the extraction point. I'm Colby Agostino.
And I'm Brooke Lennis. See you next time on
Students versus
In the
Wild.
eye of the hurricane, here comes the sun, here comes the rain.